I've been coming here since I was probably 12 or 13 years old. We used to come down and play basketball, and the best competition in the city came here to play. It was one of the very few venues where we had the ability to come in and have a gym at our disposal. I saw Patrick Ewing play here. I played here with Patrick Ewing. And, you know, guys that were future Olympians. Cambridge has a rich history of just straight out phenomenal athletes. I remember looking up at these guys and watching them, knowing what they were doing and just wanting to emulate their behavior as I got older. Okay, Dayton University, I've been coaching for quite some time. It's obviously a nonprofit program. We're trying to take some of these kids that don't have money, that are trying to be able to play in these tournaments, but their parents simply can't afford it. So this was created because we wanted to be able to include some of these kids to be able to come in and actually have a place to play, a safe haven to get them off the streets, a good avenue for them to get great grades. My philosophy came from watching that Netflix documentary with Doc Rivers about Ubuntu, which is each of us are all responsible for our own part to create a better whole, which means that everybody must buy in. No one person is more important than the other. So that's the importance of being in a place like this that builds some level of community involvement, that really, if there's a level of structure and there's a level of family and there's a level of harmony and a level of unity, that those things transform into a success for you later on in life. There are a lot of things that we can teach out of this community center. We're not just going to do basketball. We're going to do life skills. We're going to teach them to be able to get out the door and do better and have something to look forward to and have good grades. These are the things that we need to be able to teach these kids now that are disenfranchised out here, because we're tired of seeing kids dying. We're tired of seeing kids not graduating. We're tired of seeing kids out in the street at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when there's a better future. For the projects across the street, the buildings represented a huge place, especially with the food pantry during COVID, for the people to be able to come and get a meal when they were struggling. It's always been available to people around the neighborhood that just need to come in, and even if they just need to come off the street and take a breath or have somebody to talk to. The kids that are developed in here, I see them grow years later.
For me, you know, this is a full circle. This is the first place that I've actually came to play basketball in the city of Cambridge, and then to now be able to come back here and kind of see it. As I said to Ben when I was telling him, I walked in here, I'm like, this place is pretty much the same. They touched up the floor and they got new backboards, but other than that, everything is the same. I told him the side hoops might be the same side hoops from when I was coming here. This place, this is actually where it started for a lot of kids. This is probably, I could say, one of the few centers that were actually actively had kids coming through. It's kind of crazy because I spent about, I'd probably say, 6 days a week here. During the week, I came in for after-school program, and on the weekends, I was actually a part of a boys group called the W.B. Du Bois program. We used to come here Saturday mornings, and they just teach us a lot of stuff on Black history, stuff that you didn't get in history classes at that time. Just the real hardcore stuff that kind of, if you never knew it, you wouldn't fully appreciate what it is to be a black man growing up in America. And I think the big thing, too, that was here, some of the staff that were here, they're people that are still in the community now. Great people, too. There wasn't any really people that put you down, people that just built you up, you know, people that you wanted to be like as you grew up. And I think that's what kind of rubbed off on me, myself. But, it's just the opportunity we have, just having these kids the opportunity to get ready to prepare for the next chapters in life. And it's just preparation. The people that are dedicated to their craft first, and they want to get better and they want to stay at it. You know, it's kind of, in a sense, it really just breaks down to what it is. Over the pandemic, it was just no give up sense. You have to invest some time into basketball, and that's what I think is really the kids in Cambridge, the ones that make the teams and be in the program, they understand that. The kids all know that if you're not invested, it's not going to work out. It's not for everyone.
My name is Ben Pimlott. I'm from Cambridge, Massachusetts. I've lived here basically my whole life. Since I got adopted and moved here, I've been here since I was a baby. I'm thankful to have been raised in Cambridge because I feel like the opportunities and just like the support I feel like that's given for like kids in general, like all the programs they have, the youth centers, and just like a lot of staff members have become my mentors, just even as like such as Cortland.
Ben came into the picture. I always heard the little ramblings about him. Oh, they're like, oh, you got to see the Asian kid. And I'm like, yeah. I wasn't easy to impress, to say the sense. At the time, I didn't even really listen to the ramblings that he had only had one arm. So I didn't even, when I kind of seen that piece too, I was kind of shocked into that. Ben's a hard worker. He always wants to get better. As long as he wants to listen too, that's the biggest piece that makes things that much easier. And then from there, me and Ben just kind of built a relationship. Talked about things. I told him I was available to talk about things for him on and off the court. I think that's a big piece too.
Ben Pimlott is the Dutton University basketball guy. Ben came in, everybody was looking like, Coach, like, who's that? I'm like, oh, you're gonna find out real quick who he is.
Everyone's here, like, they're not doing it for money or, you know, stuff like that. Like, they're here to give back or they just want to do good work. So, I don't know, like, the energy here, like, people are nice people, like, they welcome me, like, they made me feel like at home as soon as I came in. I mean, the building itself is pretty historic. I mean, I looked at the history, though, and it's kind of crazy to say because the YMCA, like, I was reading through the history, and it's, like, crazy to think that this building was made because only whites were allowed into the YMCA. And it's, like, you don't really feel like that part of the time is, like, so, you feel like it's so far away, but to feel like this building was, like, in that time period is pretty, like, crazy, and it's still here, you know. I feel like I see my opportunity to make, you know, help bring the community back together in terms of basketball, like when I was growing up, how it used to be. So just kind of trying to recreate that, trying to make a space for, you know, kids like myself when I was growing up to have a space to come in, look up to older kids, and kind of, you know, see what it takes, or just create that environment for kids to come in and play basketball. If someone's, you know, better than me, I'm like, nah, like, I need to get better. So just being able to like, have that environment, like, really was important to me. And just like interacting with other kids is important. Like, playing at the court by yourself is like nothing compared to having a gym full of kids with good energy, like competing and trying to get better. So I just kind of want to be able to create that for the next kids coming up. Just having that gym from 4 to 5:30, just being able to get in and work with some of the guys, it's allowing me to get better, you know, as a trainer, as a player. And it's just like the more experience I get, you know, the better I'll get. So it's nice to have the space.